Here you go.
You've been drinking some
I'm gonna stand
Orval?
next to you. What?
You've been drinking some Orval?
That's the first time I had it. That was like probably a year ago. Wait, this is yours.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it running?
Yeah, it's running. Well, I'll edit it out on
Okay.
the front. Hey there, guys. So today we have another review with Darwin, and this is my friend Scott's, and we have Midnight Suns Barfly. This is a bourbon barrel-aged stout brewed with smoked malt, molasses, brown sugar, and aged in bourbon barrels. It's actually a new version of the beer. It used to be in Cabernet barrels. So Midnight Side from Alaska is making great stuff, so let's take this beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's get the aroma on this. What do you guys got?
I got a little bit of bourbon.
Yeah, touch of it's not whiskey or bourbon forward. It's like that like hint of it. Like a lot of sweetness, like a lot of like chocolate, milk chocolate, cocoa.
Chocolate.
Oh, what I was talking about earlier, we were sharing this beer. It smells dense. It's not this like bright coffee bitterness or something, right? Some beers have that like bright stout flavor.
Doesn't.
This smells like it's heavy. It smells slightly umami. It's like
Yeah, a little umami.
chunky. It's chunky. It's browny. It's
Like it's similar to the 1050.
1050 and Boris. I was saying, yeah. Cheers. Cheers. Oh man, mouthfeel in this like.
It's chewy.
It's like you know,
smooth.
I have no issue like, you know, being honest with like saying like beers are like lighter than full. This is like full. This is like, you know,
Yeah, you're gonna.
this is as thick as, you know, as a stout can sort of get. It's 11.6%. No sense of the alcohol.
No heat.
What do you get to the front? The first flavor you get hit with.
I think maybe that like molasses kind of.
You know, I get that too, but I get a hint that smoke hits me first.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not. You shouldn't worry if you're not into smoky beers. It's not like
it's not a rye
it's not
beer.
like a bacon like campfire experience. It's sort of like a hint of smokiness. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
it's a
hint
nice,
of meatiness,
it's a
hints of like
touch.
hints of burnt flavor, like burnt charcoals,
Yeah.
that kind of like burnt toast.
Burnt tobacco.
Yeah. And then it's surrounded by tons and tons of like chocolate, a lot of sweetness like caramel and.
Yeah, not much coffee. Definitely like bitter chocolate.
Yeah, bitter chocolate, not too much coffee flavor. Maybe a bit of mocha because it's a really sweet kind of mocha.
Yeah, it's definitely sweet.
Mm-hmm. And then I was saying that you're talking about molasses. That's a theme of the beer throughout, like that bitterness of molasses and licorice, or just like.
Yeah, I definitely get the licorice at the end. It's like drying.
I was saying, this beer has a lot of sweetness. It's like I'd say it's like medium plus the full sweetness beer, but it has a sort of a drying note in the back of like licorice. Oh, oak, right?
Yeah, you get smoke. Definitely.
Bourbon? Yo, in the front, right?
Yeah, I mean it's bourbon.
It's not the
barrel-aged.
most forward
If
bourbon.
you haven't had a lot of bourbon barrel age, I wouldn't start with this one.
Yeah, because this is not a perfect example for me of like a bourbon barrel aged stout.
It's a very good stout.
It's like sort of like the bourbon barrel takes like sort of a back seat to this
Yeah.
beer, so like I wouldn't compare it to a bourbon county. Like I'm looking for like a mind blowing experience of like vanilla and like coconut and oak and all these crazy flavors. It's more of the stout, but with this rounding flavor of that bourbon.
I wonder how long they leave it in the barrel.
barrels. You know, who knows?
I don't know either.
They don't say on the bottle.
Maybe some burnt sugars.
Burnt sugars, but it's really what I like about it is the bourbon also like this clearly is. If you give me this wine, I don't think I would choose. Think that this was a non-barrel aged beer.
No, I agree with
It
you.
tastes barrel aged, like.
But it's not.
It's that rounding spike of a rounding flavor of bourbon, and also that jump of like alcohol hints.
I think it's also like it mellows out.
It's a mellowing.
Yeah.
It's a mellowing kind of experience that bourbon offers. But yeah, it was really good stuff. Like all the flavors we were talking about, they're very well integrated into the beer. They don't really like overshadow each other.
Yeah, very nice.
I was saying that this reminds me of Abyss, like in the fact that it's so complex and a lot of the flavors sort of just come together very well. Actually, interesting comparison to Abyss, because Abyss I think is like 30% barrel aged. So this beer, it maybe tastes like a beer that's like maybe 30-50% barrel aged, right?
Yeah,
It's not like so upfront. So what's your rating for this, Scott?
You know what? This is the end of the bottle, and I definitely been enjoying it. I'm going to have to give this a 95.
95, all right. I like it a little bit more than that. Let me think. I'm going to give this a 97. I think it's really good. It's fantastic stuff. And by the way, so I was actually talking about Midnight Sun. I think a lot of their beers are really exceptional. Arctic Devil, their barley wine is a bourbon barrel aged barley wine is really good. Berserker is their bourbon barrel aged stout is really good. I think it's like maybe not as the level of Firestone Walker, but it's really exceptional stuff. And if you can find Midnight Sun, that's something to really seek. And another one is another one from Maine Beer Co. I have lunch. The recent batch of lunch came out, and I've been drinking that, and I even had it last night. I'm thinking why is this why do people not go for another one? Another one is so much better, and it's pretty awesome that you sort of I personally can find certain beers that I prefer, whereas other people go crazy after the other beers. So this is a beer that I think if you can reasonably find it, just hit the shelves. Definitely seek this. Don't go crazy. Maybe looking for another beer. You have any examples for yourself of beers that you really like that are not as highly sought after as you would expect them to be?
Well, for me, Founders released that Sweet Repute last year.
Sweet Repute.
I loved that beer. It got good reviews. But
Not a huge trade beer. Not
I
people
had
going
no problem finding extra bottles. And
it's still on the shelves now.
Yeah. I don't know if it might have peaked, but
Yeah, and it's $20.
I bought it, in nowhere, Pennsylvania. I bought it for $16.
Okay, that's a good price. Yeah.
If you're there.
Yeah. So, question for you guys: what beers do you guys consider to be underrated and something that you personally enjoy and really want to seek or think should be sought after, but it really isn't? And anyway, so I'll be going to Vermont soon, and I'll be bringing you guys new reviews of that trip next. So until next time, guys, cheers later. Well, I'm going to delete that last part.